embezzle money. Embezzle, bitch. Embezzle. Embezzle.
Hey, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Chastity. Here we talk about beauty, entertainment, celebrities, books, movies, TV shows, animes, and kind of anything else that garners my attention this week. And today we're gonna talk about everything that happened on Twitter involving Chloe Bailey, Nina Simone's estate, and somehow Kamala Harris. So if you're unaware, Chloe Bailey had did a rendition of Nina Simone's iconic Feeling Good on ABC's Soul of the Nation Friday night. For some very weird and strange reason, her performance was very polarizing. Either you really loved it or you hated it. Personally, I loved it. I didn't see any problems with it. Some people said she did too much, but I'm just like, I really do feel like the people who said she was doing too much or said like she was being disrespectful to Nina Simone don't know Nina Simone and everything she stands for, and I'm pretty sure with what we know of Nina Simone, she would not feel any type of way about this performance. She's very much for women empowerment and allowing women to be who they want to be. Again, I know some people were like she did too much, but why be boring? Like, I really don't understand. Like, that is not the type of performer that Chloe Bailey is. She is going to give you a show. And I'm personally sick and tired of seeing girls standing straight and slightly swaying and singing. I get tired of it. I want to visually see a performance. And that's what Chloe Bailey is. She's a performer. And some of y'all seem to hate it. Personally, I just think a lot of y'all was just using this moment to just unleash your hatred for Chloe Bailey. I have a previous video about the unnecessary hate she gets. I'll link that in the description box below if you want to watch that video. But a lot of y'all just simply hate Chloe Bailey for being a sexual being for herself and her not allowing you to just sexualize her for your own consumptions. So y'all be using any chance y'all get to attack her, and that's what I think was happening Friday night. Now, in the middle of all of this discourse, Nina Simone's estate had tweeted from her Twitter. Because I guess if you are unaware of the fact that Nina Simone has passed on since like 2003, well, she's gone. And we had assumed someone in her family was controlling her Twitter account, and the account tweeted, I think it was like in a now deleted tweet of like Nina Simone saying, "Girl, sit down." So then, after this tweet, you got Chloe and Halle stans going at Nina Simone. It was weird. I, in my life, never thought I would see like Chloe and Halle fans going at it with Nina Simone, but here we are in 2021. They're going at it, and then people are having questions about the estate. Like, because where I was lost was the estate had to approve of her doing this song in this performance in order for her to have done it. You know what I mean? So that's why I was confused about the very like shady tweet when it's like you signed off on her using the song and performing with it. What's with the attitude? And other people were questioning the estate. And then, okay, we get this thread from Nina Simone's granddaughter. So then we get this thread that I'm going to read through it with you guys later. But essentially in this thread, her granddaughter states that her family is no longer in control of her grandmother's estate. And that is all Kamala Harris's fault. That dastardly villain, Kamala Harris, stole everything from them. So she says, Nina Simone's granddaughter here. My family doesn't run her estate anymore. It was taken away from us and given to white people. Our family name was dragged in the media. We got no royalties, nothing. Want to hold someone accountable? Ask Kamala Harris why she came from my family. Hashtag Nina Simone. There were actually other tweets in the thread originally, but those ended up getting deleted. Okay, so I hadn't like screenshotted this beforehand because I didn't know it was going to turn into what it ended up turning into. So I didn't screenshot those, and I hate myself for not doing it. But we're still gonna continue on with what she tweeted. And then she states, "Y'all, I deleted the rest of this thread due to me needing to contact my family and see how we all felt about me publicly speaking about this, since it has to do with all of us. Now that I've done that, I feel more comfortable speaking my truth openly and freely." We're gonna get to that. As I said before, ask her why she separated my family. Ask her why my grandmother's estate is in shambles now. Ask her why we as her family no longer have on the rights to anything. Ask her why she bullied my mother in court and my mother almost killed herself from the depression. Ask her why my mother had a gag order put on her and cannot speak on these things. Ask her why she didn't even want my mom to be able to say she was Nina Simone's daughter. Ask her why she wanted us to walk away with nothing. My grandmother created something beautiful with her life while she was on this earth, even through all of her pain. I'm so proud of her legacy. I'm so proud to be her grandchild. But I feel separated from my legacy, as if it isn't even mine. Let me explain. My grandmother is influencing the masses, as she should. I see her on billboards. I see artists covering her music. It breaks my heart to know why people are making money off of grandma's hard work, and that we have had all our rights as our family stripped from us. I'm going to leave it at that for now. Do your research if you like, but know that there is a lot of slander out there on my mother. There are a lot of false information put out there that is not true. Listen, we lived it. We are still living in the aftermath of this. And ask yourself this question. With Grandma Nina being as famous as she is, with all of these artists covering her, her name and her likeness being used by damn near everybody, why is it that her family is living paycheck to paycheck? Why do I have to consider stripping to pay my bills? Now let me say this. There is nothing wrong with stripping or sex work. Please don't get me wrong. If you're a sex worker, I am full support of you. Y'all motherfucking fraud. Alright, that's it for now. Oh wait, while we're asking Kamala questions, ask her why after all this pain and suffering she put us through a Nina Simone song was sang at the inauguration to swear her in as VP. She knew what she was doing. Now, in her statement, Nina Simone's granddaughter implored people to do their own research if they didn't believe her. And well, people did do their own research, found court documents that seemed to have painted a completely different narrative than what Nina Simone's granddaughter was telling us, or at least she augmented some things from what actually happened. Now we'll get into her and maybe what's happening there towards the end of this video. So in Nina Simone's will, Miriam Makeba was named as trustee of the Residual Charitable Trust. Now, in 2004, Miriam had named Kelly, Nina Simone's daughter, as successor trustee of Charitable Trust. Now, in 1992, Nina created her will. And in her will, she stated that all of her funding would go to this charity she created for Black African children. Now, that is where her money was supposed to be going. For her children, she had left Kelly her condo and then left her son what was left after selling all of her home in like trinkets and gifts that would be given to her son. Now, that does tell you, at least towards the end of Nina's life, what type of relationship she had with her children. Because usually when celebrities leave majority of their money to charity and not their children, that is an indication that they do not have a good relationship. This is all that we can speculate. I know Kelly has stated that being, Nina Simone's daughter has not been an easy road. But beyond that, we will never actually know what type of relationship they had. But it's easy to assume that it was not great, being that she gave all of her money to charity. Now, after being, named trustee of, Charitable Trust, Kelly siphoned over $2 million from the estate. And here's where a lot of y'all got bricks for brains and do not understand, like, legal paperwork and just laws in general. Just because you are like in control of someone's estate does not give you the right to do whatever you want with their money. Okay? If someone has a will and they have instructions for where their money should go, then that is the only places that money should go. It doesn't matter if you're their child, if you're their spouse, if they explicitly stated in their will where their money will go, then that's where their money will go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's legally binding. I feel like people think that once people die, you can kind of do whatever you want with their stuff. No, if they have a will, you legally have to follow it, or there will be ramifications. And like, I hate to see that for Black people, but it's like, that's the law. And honestly, like, when we'll get into this, her just being taken off of being, like, trustee and them not having any of the rights of the residuals to it is a slap on the wrist in comparison to the fact that she should have done jail time. Like, she should have went to prison for this. This is very much so illegal. I feel like y'all are not understanding that. Like, what she did was very, very wrong. Black or not, like, you don't do shit like this. Now, this is where the blame of Kamala Harris comes in, because at the time, Kamala Harris was California's Attorney General. So it was basically her job to bring this to the court and, hash out this situation. So this is where the Kamala Harris blame comes in. And also, this is where I feel like we got most of this information from, was from the Kamala Hive, who is like, our girl is garbage, but she ain't this garbage, and brought all of this shit back up. Kamala had also claimed that $1.5 million of that actually went to Kelly's personal company itself, which again, no, babes, you can't do that. You can't do that when there is a will with very clear instructions for what you're supposed to do with said money. Kamala also made Kelly resign as trustee, and then the case ended up getting settled out of court, which does not bode well for Nina's family. Like, usually when you settle out of court, it's because you did some shit wrong and you don't want to get a harsher sentence. Because again, like, they probably, if this actually had gone forward, gone to trial and stuff like that, there probably would have been prison time, because $2 million is a lot of money to siphon. That's a lot of money, especially when you think about you took money from charities for African children. Like, it don't look good. Like, none of this looks good. Now, once Twitter got a hold of all of these court documents and legal Twitter got to breaking it down, it ain't look too good for Nina Simone's family, because this is not the story that her granddaughter was painting. And I do not blame the granddaughter for that, because the granddaughter is like 20 years old, and like Nina Simone passed like 2003. So clearly when this situation was happening, this was grown folk business, and I do not believe that anyone in her family told her the truth, because a lot of elders in your family lie to you. So I do genuinely believe that her granddaughter had no idea, because I do not think if her granddaughter knew the severity of the situation, she would have gone this far. I think if she knew what had happened, she would have just tweeted that we don't have control over my grandmother's estate. A lot of relatives of big Black stars do not have control over their relatives' estate, so that's not anything new. So there's that. So I really do think that, like, she was not aware, because I know people were like trying to drag her, but I do just think she is just a casualty to Black families lying to the younger generation about things and not telling the truth. So I don't want y'all to like personally put too much on her, because I really do think she believes what she was saying was the truth, and we should be blaming her mother for lying to her, on top of stealing from her mother. With me saying that, I'm also aware of the fact that Nina Simone and her children did not have the best relationship, as told by all of her money going to charity, not her kids, right? So we are aware that what was happening in that family probably wasn't that great. And I don't want to kind of push aside the possible traumas that Nina Simone's daughter and son probably went through being her children. And it could possibly be that Kelly felt like she was owed money from her mother. But at the same time, you can't do that legally. You legally cannot do that. If there is a will and it has wishes for where the money should go, you have to follow it. That's why wills exist. I feel like people think because once someone dies, you can do whatever you want with their stuff. But if they have a will, you have to follow it to the T, or you will go to prison. And I feel like there were some people that were trying to be like, well, white people do it all the time. And I hate this narrative of because white people do it, then therefore black people should be able to do it and get away with it. Like, that doesn't feel right to me. I don't like that mindset of like, well, white people get to do terrible things. Why can't black people? That feels icky and gross. Because usually this comes up only when black people are doing despicable things. Like, people bring this up a lot with R. Kelly being like, well, white men get to rape women, so why can't black men? And it's just like, are you okay? If you do shake your head and it sounds like a can of beans, like, is everything good in here? That's a whole separate side tangent that I'm never going to get into because I know how y'all feel about R. Kelly, so I ain't gonna do that to myself. You know, I like my like dislike ratio. But because white people do it, for some reason we should do it too. No. Again, especially when you think about the fact that the money was for charity, right? She wasn't like burying me with all my money. No, this was going to charity for African children. You don't feel bad like taking money from children, like, at all? Like, you feel good about that? Personally, couldn't do that myself, but you know. Another thing as well is, even if, let's say, they still were like the trustees or they still had, you know, her estate, the family still would not be making any money from Nina Simone's name and branding and songs and music and stuff like that. Because what is supposed to be happening is all of the money being made going to charity. So that's another thing where, like, her granddaughter is wrong about, but again, young, doesn't know anything. Her grandmother left her family just real estate. Left her mother a condo, left her brother the profit from a home in France, as well as 2 small gifts. That is the only money they were getting from Nina Simone. So again, documentaries, music samples, being on the charts, anything like that, none of that money was to ever go to the family. So even if they kept it, they would still be living paycheck to paycheck. Because, well, as long as they were following the law, they were not going to see any of the money made by using Nina Simone's name and her likeness in any way, shape, or form. So that's also another thing that's like, it really doesn't matter if you have the estate or not. You wasn't gonna get money anyways. Nina made it very clear she did not want anyone in her family to have any money. Again, I don't know what happened prior in the 90s. I wasn't even born. To be fair, when Nina Simone died, I was like, what, 5? Girl, I don't know nothing. But I do know the law. Okay, I'm a criminology major. I do know a little bit about legal things, right? And I know that there was no way, shape, or form y'all was ever going to touch any money. At least not legally. We're going to touch any money. And I think that's why her mother did what she did, because she knew she wasn't getting no money. I mean, again, you're stealing from charity. People are going to notice. Also, like, Miriam is the one that actually brought it to Kamala's attention, because she was like, the money not going where it's supposed to go, girl. And then Kamala looked into it and was like, 2 million? Where has it gone? So yeah, I think, again, not too much on the granddaughter. I think she's just young and was not told the truth. And we should be dragging her mama because her mama done embezzled. Listen, embezzlement? Embezzled? She embezzled money, okay? She embezzled a lot of money. And got off, in my opinion, pretty easily. Because she should have done prison time. If we're being honest, $2 million is nothing to sneeze at. 1.5 of that went to her own personal business. Listen, in my opinion, got off with a slap on the wrist, all right? And again, people are not understanding. The family was never going to get any monies legally. Y'all don't be knowing laws. Y'all don't be understanding how legal things work and be talking out your ass on the internet and looking dumb while doing it. Okay? The will was very clear and very specific where the money was to go. And it was not to the family. Again, we don't know what happened. We don't know their real relationship. It seems bad. To leave your children with absolutely nothing shows that they did not have a good relationship to the end. All right? Again, it does feel like Kelly felt like she was owed some money. And I could understand that. You were her daughter. You went through what you went through. You want something out of it. But it's, at the end of the day, your mother's will was very clear. Was very clear. And again, I really don't think this whole situation would have blew up this bad, because it was crazy watching the whole internet be on her granddaughter's side like Juneteenth Eve, and then on Juneteenth Day be dragging her up and down timeline. The thread is still up, and personally, I would feel very embarrassed and would have deleted the thread, but that's me. You know, because the girl is under the thread going crazy. You're not going to be in my mentions having me mute my whole entire Twitter just to survive. I ain't fighting for my life. Not me. I really do feel like if her granddaughter just kept it to, you don't have control over her state, period, it would not have gotten this bad. The Kamala Hive would not have attacked her the way she did. But because she added all this extra sauce to the story and was like, y'all need to ask Kamala when my family living paycheck to paycheck. Y'all need to talk to Kamala. I knew what she was doing when they had a Nia Simone song playing at her inauguration. This woman is the devil. Like, I feel like all of that built up something, and the Kamala Hive was like, word, we got something for your ass. As well as it really just took a simple Google search, because all of this is public information. Once a court case has been finished, you can look it up, you can find it. So I feel like maybe she should have also looked into the case. But I understand why she didn't, because her mom probably told her. And why would you think your mom is lying to you? Who thinks their mom is lying to them? Like, let's be honest. You don't. You believe the things your parents tell you. But it's just like the whole situation is so easy to find, because they found it with the quickness. Oh, when the girlies woke up, the Kamala Hive woke up, oh, they got the shaking the table. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Listen, I just wanted to talk about this with y'all, because I simply could not believe the chain of events, okay? From Chloe's performance to Nina's Twitter to her granddaughter coming out and blaming Kamala Harris to Kamala Hive coming back with the receipts of public information, and then everyone under her post dragging, like, I'm telling you, it was so crazy to see the support and then the attack. And again, I do not believe the granddaughter deserves any of the backlash. I think it's her mom's fault for not being completely honest with what happened, because again, at that time, that was grown folk business, and you know, her granddaughter had no business being a part of it. So this is her retelling. But again, some of you who are trying to make what, you know, Kelly did right, don't do that. Okay? There is a clear purpose for wills, and as well, there are usually multiple reasons why a deceased would not leave their money to their relatives, whether the relatives already have money or they believe that the relatives would, you know, poorly use the money. Again, we don't know their relationship, but Nina felt like her family did not deserve her money, and that the money should be going to charities in Africa. And that was not being carried out. So I do 100% understand why being the trustee was taken away from Kelly. Again, I feel like this is family business. It really is. And it shouldn't have been brought to the internet. Again, it should have just stopped with, we are not, you know, control of her estate, and left it at that. I feel like, again, she added too much sauce to the story and people got to Googling because she told people to do their research. And when people did the research, the math wasn't mathing. And then this whole situation just blew up. And it really shouldn't have. It really, like this is someone's family business just all over the Twitter street. Like, we got legal documents all over Twitter. And I hate that for them. I truly do. But again, she tweeted a little too much. The thread got a little too spicy. And the girls was like, cool. Ask Kamala. I'm gonna ask Google. That's where I can find the legal documents. And the legal documents ain't look right. Because it wasn't, oh, it just got taken from us. Because I do feel like partially, okay, let's live in the pretend, because we don't know if her granddaughter really knew the truth, but let's pretend like her granddaughter did know the truth, right? Let's live in that world. It felt like, if that was the case, she's banking on the fact that it is common for Black families to lose the estate of their relatives. That is not a new thing. It has happened to many Black celebrities. It happened so much, I feel like maybe if she did know the truth, she was banking on people just believing her and not looking deeper. Again, if she knew, which I don't think she did, but let's live in this world that she was aware, that could be the case, that we were just supposed to blindly believe her, which some people did. But then the documents are public knowledge. And I hate that for her. I truly, truly do. We'll never really know if she truly knew the situation or not. But I know she would shame tweet that. I know she does. I would regret it. Because it's still up too. I don't know why it's still up. Personally, I feel like it being up is a double down, but it's like, babe, the legal papers, the paper trail, the embezzlement, don't lie. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.